Hi everyone, welcome back to the Loch Ness Monsters channel. Welcome back to my channel. That's not a stain, it's wet hair. I'm just fresh out of the shower, and as promised earlier in the week, I'm going to show everyone what I do to achieve my signature look. I'm not going to do a record long intro, we'll just get on with it. So I'm going to blow dry my hair, and I'll probably speed up this part, but I'm going to take one of these round sort of metal brushes, and you'll see a couple of the motions. I'm using the Dyson hairdryer. I was given this as a gift. I think what you're paying for with this is like it's not ruining your hair. I wouldn't say that the finish is so unbelievably amazing that you should go and spend however much it costs, I don't know. But I think you're paying for the fact that it doesn't damage your hair too much, which I can tell the difference, but if it's not something that you necessarily need, I'm not going to say it's the most amazing thing since sliced bread. FYI, I'm using like the triple fan, so the most fan, and then just the lowest heat setting. I always try to go for the lowest heat setting. And the only thing I've done with my hair is part it. Oh, I need heat spray. So I just sort of take a section, usually spray it more towards the ends, as was in my last video. I'm using the Mark Hill Hair Lab Ylang Ylang spray, and I just like to try and get it saturated in a little bit. Not too much, just enough to give it some nice smell, some nice product, and obviously the protection part. And then I just take a regular brush and just make sure that it's through the hair. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I do. I'm not the best blower. I'm terrible with like looking in the mirror and figuring out what's hands what. You're like unless your hair's very fine, move in a downward motion and bring like that as you're like brushing against the hair, because hair has little like platelets on it, and you want to make sure that they're like, if you want the slickest as possible, go downwards, because then they'll all lay flat, it'll be more slick. Okay, so this is my hair, like basically 100% dry. Of course I blow dried it in a straight way, but it does kind of naturally fall into a very straight moment, which I don't enjoy. Like this just looks a little too slick for the kind of look that I want, which is more, it's like I have to put in more effort to look effortless. I could rock this and it looks kind of chill, but I just don't like the straight hair. So, next you're going to want to take, without knocking over your lighting, your camera, or whatever. Oh no. I have a flat iron or a straightener here. This is the Babyliss, I don't know. It's pink, it was on offer, that's why I bought it, otherwise I wouldn't necessarily gone for pink, although we love pink. And the reason I bought it is because when you close it together like this, the whole thing touches. Some of them you touch them and there's a gap in the bottom, or there's a gap at the top and it's touching here. You want something that closes the whole way, so I just thought, and it's a very wide, like there's a very wide plate, like if you look at the size of the hair, if you like really wanted to straighten it, I can get a whole lot of hair in there to straighten. So turn them on, and the lowest heat setting. If you've got more unruly hair, it probably would be best for you to put it on a higher heat setting. I don't need to do that. If you find that I'm looking over here a lot, it's because I have a mirror so I can see what I'm doing and not just look in the monitor. So the first thing that I do is take one of these little crocodile thingies and sort of take my kind of half head up, so that, because it's like in kind of 4 sections, but also like 4, upper right, lower right, bottom left, like upper left, like that. So these don't take long to get hot, they're already ready. And I just start working my way around my head. And this is the kind of motion that I go for. So I just sort of take it in the hair and turn sort of slightly, and like that, and create a little ringlet. I'm going to brush them out. Obviously that's a very kind of unnatural looking ringlet. It looks like I'm going to my year 16 prom wearing a navy strapless satin awful dress. And that's not the lyric that we're going for. Just like that. Little ringlets you want to create.
All around the bottom half of your little coconut head. And I won't do the whole hair. I'll show you. But you get the gist.
Move around the whole head as much as you can. Obviously we can't see the whole back of the head. And if you want to add a bit more heat protection spray, go ahead. Don't add too much because obviously you don't want to like sizzle your hair. The way that I usually do my hair, I do it before bed and then I go to sleep, and then when I wake up I brush it out, and it just seems to look so much more like natural that way. If I have to do it before I go out, I kind of usually am not very satisfied with the result, because as much as I brush it out, it will sort of slightly be tempted to spring back to its like this very curled sort of processed state. And I'm trying to go for like, what? I didn't curl my hair. No. That's the kind of lie that I'm going for. Now, of course, you could use a curling iron or a curling wand. My curling wand is far too thin. It's for when I had shorter hair, so I need to invest in one. So at the moment, I'm just using a flat iron. But it gives me like a nice wide curl that I like. The only thing is it's a little bit less controlled, so every so often I'll end up with like a rogue random curl where I'm like, what just happened there? Also, I really like the finish that, I know that you're technically damaging your hair when you're putting heat on it, we get that, okay? But the finish when you straighten your hair or run it through a straightener is it gives it so much more shine, because it's like flattening all of the texture in it. So I really love the finish because it gives you a really glossy finish. I'm like a damage pusher. Damage your hair, come on, do it with me. Alright, we've done it all. So then I take down one side and work one side at a time now. So let's just find the parting. Go with the left side first. So then I'll just sort of wrap this up and pin it again back here. And usually on this top part, instead of starting front to back, by the way, you want to curl away from your face. Yes. Sometimes I even push this over just so I can have some extra like room so I can see the hair that I'm doing. And again, just work away from the face, curl away from the face should I say, and I work back to front here. And like, it gives your hair such a healthy sheen, smoke rising from the hair straighteners. I don't know how much these straighteners were, I wish I could remember. Ow! Just burnt my leg. I'm like nude from the waist down, well nearly. Because I only use hair straighteners once or twice a week, I don't feel it's necessary for me to spend tons and tons of money on something that I don't really use a lot of the time, unless I'm using it constantly. Always the bit that matters the most, i.e. the bit that's closest to my face, goes the most weird and wrong. And then here's the next task, is you have to match with the middle parting. Okay, that's better. With the middle parting, you have to match this to this side as most as possible. I usually get sisters, maybe a distant cousin, definitely never twins. It bothers me something chronic, it really does. And after that, we can brush it out and make it look as beachy as possible. As possible. Right, we're getting there folks, we're getting there. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. I have an important meeting this evening, so of course I really want to look like Shirley Temple. I can already tell there's a little bit of difference in my curls. So I'm going to try at least get the front one as similar as possible. I try moving a downward motion when I'm doing this, by the way. Like a clamp, twist and pull. Not quite. Can you see? So then what I do is I like try and match these two the exact same. Okay, they're not too bad on the monitor. I'm going to brush them out. Just go from there. but as you can see, it's made it very, very, very shiny. Even the really like dyed bit is shiny. I mean, and how 70s can we go? I try and brush it out pretty much as possible without like pulling out too much hair. Even that though, that looks like pretty. And it's just adds so much more to your hair, for me anyway, to have it like have a natural wave in it, because otherwise it just hangs there. And because my hair is quite silky, it's not really got much texture. Eventually what happens is it just gets greasy looking quick, especially because I touch it so often. I'm someone that definitely touches their hair way too much and should just leave it alone. Alright, I'm not mad at this at all. Okay. Perfect. If I feel that it needs a little bit of it, as with my last video, this is the Palmer's Coconut Oil Formula with Vitamin E Coconut Oil Leave-In Conditioner. And I'll just literally like put a pump through at the ends and then just kind of brush it in and through. And this will also as well, if you've kind of got too much of a tight curl, adding just a slight bit of moisture will kind of weigh it down a little bit. And then if I just give it a little scrunch. If I was leaving, you know, meet my friend for lunch. There we go. I usually do this right before bed, and then when I wake up the next day, it's much more kind of natural looking. I just wanted to show you the morning after. This is what I mean by like how it kind of falls into more of a natural look. And this is more or less what I'm going for at the actual end result. I like this part as well. This side always ends up just like slightly my favourite, which is annoying because this is the nicer side of my face, in my opinion. So I always push my hair back on this side, and then this hair is nicer if I do that. Like I said, cousin sister moment. We're not gonna get twins. Don't expect twins. Ain't gonna happen. So I hope that that's been useful. I appreciate you so much for watching, especially if you've made it this far. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a great big thumbs up. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. What did I do wrong? I'm not a professional. Subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.